On the surface, it may appear as a club, but behind the scenes is filled with lies, sex, and drugs. Let's discuss. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. I hope you all are staying cool, calm, and collected out there. I hope you guys miss me. I am back. I went ahead and celebrated my 30th birthday last week. Yay! But last Wednesday, I turned 30, and I will say, like, up until, like, the lead up to my birthday, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I have a cousin who has the same birthday as me, and he didn't know what he wanted to do, so I just went ahead and just made that day a chill day. I went to the gym that morning, worked out with a friend, then I visited a best friend right after that. We caught up. I haven't seen her in, like, months, and it was good to catch up with her. And then that night, I went to dinner with my, I guess I can say, significant other. And then we got on home and did the Monster Mash. It was a full-on blast, and I will say my birthday was everything I wanted it to be. Very chill, relaxed, and low-key. But I will say I need to get into celebrating myself. I don't know how to really celebrate myself, so next year I'm going to force myself to either do a party or a birthday trip. But last week I went ahead and made the whole entire week just about me, just chilling and relaxing, vibing, getting back to me, and like sitting with myself internally and figuring out who I want to be at the age of 30 and above. Now, before I get into this story, I will say the first lesson that I learned at the big age of 30 is to always say no, especially if someone's trying to get you to do some blow. Now, I will be talking in code because this person I'm going to talk about actually watches my videos or is at least subscribed to me. So I'm just going to say that this is a friend that used to live in a small town that moved to Houston and became just absolutely buck wild. This friend moved here about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, and we would talk on the phone every now and then, but our relationship wasn't as close as it used to be. He's a straight male friend, might I add. Like, we were just like the best of friends. We got along all the time and used to talk on the phone all the time. But when he got here, he just got preoccupied with some extracurricular activities that I just wasn't really ready to be a part of, if that makes sense. So I worked on Saturday. I had nothing to do after work, and I hit my friend up before I got off work, and I was like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, my birthday passed, I'm 30, and the people that I really want in my life I want to be around, so, like, what are you doing tonight? And he said he wasn't doing anything, so he gave me the address to his place. He lived down the street from my job, and after I got off of work at 8, I went down to his place. So I got to his place, we were chilling, maxing and relaxing, everything was cool, and I will say, it felt like time didn't really move, like, between us. Like, we, like, picked things up basically where they left off, like, the last time we talked, which was months ago. For the most part, everything was real cool, but I will say, ever since he's moved to Houston, he has became really plugged in and just definitely just all the way up in the mix. And when I mean in the mix, it's partying, drugs, and all that ish. Cocaine is the drug that he gets from his plug, and before we settled on plans for the night, like, he was giving me, like, the rundown on, like, how he uses it and how him and his friends use it, and they go out and party, like, almost on a daily basis, and I'm just like, oh boy. Now, y'all, for the most part, I'm not really that naive to drugs. I will say that, a lot of people do cocaine, but I did not know that a lot of people do cocaine. And he was basically telling me how it's a whole culture, like from the way people dress, the way they act, the way they move up in these streets, the type of music that they listen to. Like, it is a whole entire culture of cocaine that he was schooling me on. And y'all, he was basically giving me the rundown on cocaine culture, like the type of way they dress, the music that they listen to. Like, it is a whole entire culture surrounded by cocaine, and these people just, they use it like repeatedly in order for them to, like, basically have some energy. Now, y'all, I don't normally judge, but sometimes I do judge. And if you want to do drugs, go ahead and do drugs. But if it gets to a point where you depend on the shit, that's when you need to get up off of it. So we made the plans to go down to a club. It is a new club down in Midtown. And I used to always avoid Midtown Houston because it was very, like, Trust fund baby, blue collar, white boy, Trump supporter, straight out of college, like that's what it gave. Shorts with Sperry's. I could never stand Midtown, especially whenever you would try to get inside those clubs, they would look you up and down and not let you in for wearing sneakers. But Billy Bob over here can wear shorts and Sperry's and he can get in without any issue. Like, I was never here for Midtown Houston. But we went to this club because once again my friend had the plug. Like, he was like friends with the actual owner of the club and a lot of the promotional team of the club. And I will say another thing about straight clubs, I haven't been to straight clubs in a very long time, y'all. Like, throughout my travels, I got so used to being like on the gay side of things because the drinks are cheap and they'll get you where you need to be. I couldn't stand straight clubs for the longest because they were just a big heist and a scam. Like, you gotta pay for parking, you gotta pay to get in, you gotta pay for drinks, of course, but the drinks are always watered down. You gotta pay to use the restroom, you gotta pay to throw your trash away. Like, you get the gist. Like, they will nickel and dime your ass for every single thing, and I just do not have time for that. But we got to this club, we got in free, and then we also met the promotional team. And when I tell you guys, every man in there, especially every man that my friend was friends with, all look like models. Now peep this. Like, I noticed that women have that thought body, like, you know, the BBL, the fat transfer, the small waist, the 22 inches of weave. That's the female thought look. But men have a male thought look, and the male thought look is about 6'2", 6'4", probably somewhere in that height range. Slender build with a little bit of muscle and a little bit of frame. Like, that is the male thought look. So my friend had all these model looking friends and I'm sitting there short and stout. Now I'm just kidding, y'all. Like, I'm like at least 5'10", 5'11", and somewhere in that range, but like, people literally dwarf me. Like, if you guys meet me, I consider myself like a little bit above average height, like slightly tall, but I will say every single man in that vicinity was around 6'3". One of the promoter guys got us some drinks and we went outside, smoked hookah, and shot the shit, basically. And I will say, like, off to the side, my friend was giving me the rundown on how these clubs really operate. So I'm gonna give you guys the real. A lot of these Houston clubs, I don't know if this is clubs overall, but the clubs in Houston, a lot of them are owned by a group of Arabic men or the Colombian cartel. And what they do is to keep things circulating and flowing, like the money circulating and flowing and laundered and all that. What they do is they run drugs up and throughout the club. You have people buy cocaine in the club, and in order to keep the liquor going, you know, for some reason, I guess when you do cocaine, you want some liquor too. So it keeps the bars filled with people buying this watered down liquor. Y'all, I'll tell you, the liquor is so watered down. I had 2 shots of Crown, didn't feel anything. Then I had a double shot of tequila, and I felt like just a little minimal buzz. Versus when I go to a gay club, they literally fill the whole entire bottle almost to the rim with tequila and give me a splash of cranberry. Very night and day. But the clubs, these straight clubs, make a killing because those drinks are $25 each versus a gay club, you would spend at max probably like $5 to $10 on a drink. So ladies, if you want a good place to pregame, go down to a gay club where you won't spend a whole lot of money on some drinks. My friend also gave me a rundown on like the staff and the bottle girls, and there was like a big issue with this one club in Houston because the bottle girls were allegedly getting SA'd by the owners. So therefore the bartenders and the bottle girls from this one popular club in Houston migrated to the club that we were at to work there because it was like a safer workspace. And back to the drugs are the main thing to keep the party going, like keep the club lively. Like, cocaine just gets people to where they need to be, basically. And where they do these drugs at is definitely in the bathroom. Now, I will say in the gay clubs, I have witnessed like people doing cocaine in the bathroom stalls. But baby, at this club, they do it in every single stall. My friend and the rest of the men that we were with invited me to the bathroom. And you know, my gay ass, I'm like, oh my God, well, hey, I'm about to go to the bathroom with these fine looking men. We went to the bathroom, they all put out their little powders and they were going to town. And they even try to offer it to me, of course, but I'm just like, no, like, baby, my drugs come from the earth. It has to come from Gaia herself in plant form because that's the only way I would ingest it and inhale it. Y'all, it was literally one of those situations where like you're shocked, so you look at it and you can't turn away. Like, seeing them go back to back and go to town, blow for blow, line for line, bump for bump, I was just like, Wow, y'all really be doing it like this. So we were in that club all the way till 2 a.m. And mind you guys, I didn't drive. I rode with my friend. I left my car at his place. And they were like, oh, well, let's go to the after hours. Let's go to the after hours. And I'm just like, the after hours? So it's 2 a.m., the lights go on, the club's about to close, and mind you guys, I did not drive. My friend actually drove us. I left my car at his place, and him and all his friends were like, oh, well, let's go to the after hours, the after hours. And I was just like, the after hours? Yo, I literally worked a whole entire 8-hour shift, rode up to his place, and we were at the club, like a non-stop day, basically. Like, that's what I had. And they wanted to go to the after hours at 2:30. I'm just like, oh my God. So we went down to a Latin spot, the Mexican after hours. They like to party all night, baby. Like it was definitely a sight. It was given uno, dos, tres, y tato. They had bitches shaking ass in the lato. No, literally, we pulled up to the spot. This girl stepped out, had her titties hanging out, did not care. She was slumped over in the car, drunk. Like I was just like, you trying to go to after hours? You could barely even walk. But okay, girl. Her friends were across the street trying to talk to some damn dudes. And I'm just like, well, friends like these, who needs enemies? Yeah, we got inside that club. And the thing about that club is that it was members only. But, my friend actually has friends that are a part of the cartel. So we got in like it was nothing. And y'all, it was the same shit. Like everybody just going hard, raging, just going balls to the wall. And my friend went to the bathroom 5 times to do some lines, like 5 times, y'all. I'm just like, damn, like are you not boosted enough? And the thing about these after hours, y'all, like this was news to me because I've been to some after hours in the past, but I will say this time these girls come in to sell some ass. Like, y'all, there are so many strippers, prostitutes, escorts, you name it, they hang out within these spaces. They be dancing and partying because they be high off that coca, and they be walking around because they be selling that chocha. But y'all, the group of men that I was with just kept on partying and dancing, and it got to a point where it was 6:30, and I was looking at my friend like, are you finished or are you done? Nah, I didn't approach him like that. My punk pussy ass texted him and he was like, hey, so do they tow your apartment? He was like, I don't believe so. And I was like, well, maybe I should go back to my car so I can, head on home because I have work in the morning. We ended up leaving. We went on home and, I will say, despite me having that long ass night, the friends were pretty nice. Like everybody was nice. Like I was around a bunch of drug dealers and escorts, but for the most part everybody was nice. But I will say, I don't think that I could be a part of that life. Moral of the story, y'all, it's okay to be a lame. And by lame, I mean a square, an L7. It's crazy to say, but a lot of people around my age, if not older, still to this day given the peer pressure in order to fit in and get a little bit of clout behind their name or popularity or to just even be liked. I may not know who I fully am yet, but I do know my morals and my character, and I know what is outside of my character, and I know not to do it. So the moral of the story is, stay true to you and don't do drugs unless they come from the earth. But those are my views. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to come back at you guys with some more content.